Having doubts about God and faith is one of the most painful experiences that a Christian can have. At best, it's disruptive. You never asked for it. And at worst, it's internally violent. Why is God silent? Is God real? Is the Bible just a book of fables and fairy tales? And the best part is that sharing our doubts with other Christians is about as fun as getting your hand stuck in a sink carburetor. Go ahead, try it. Not the sink carburetor part, not that. The next time you're at a Bible study, go ahead and ask the question that everybody else is afraid to ask, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Wait. Are you saying that someone can be born in a non-Christian country, die young and alone in a ditch, and then get sent to hell? Is it a sin for Christians to have doubts? I soon realized that if God was God, he could handle me asking some good faith questions. At the end of the day, after all, I was after truth. That if God really was God, then whatever was true couldn't possibly threaten him. I firmly believed, and still do believe, that this is a good stance to have. What happened next, however, was not so good. See if you can spot the problem. I didn't just tackle one doubt at a time. I tried to tackle all of them. Hell, evolution, Christian ethics, moral evil, evil committed by other Christians. That was a big one for me. It became an obsession. My search for answers quickly devolved into an aggressive deconstruction of my entire Christian worldview. I had basically knocked the foundation of my life right into the next solar system, which, again, at the time, felt like progress. But I failed to count the cost.
Scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Deconstruction was, and still is, a common term among Christians wrestling with their faith. It isn't inherently bad, but like anything trendy or fashionable, it can shift from soul-searching to performance really quickly. It becomes your identity. And when that happens, we get pride and vanity. And the focus turns to you and your journey, not God. God becomes whatever you need him to be, instead of you becoming who he made you to be. It's at that point that I completely lost the plot. Holding doubts isn't sinful, but what we do with them certainly can be. Let me give you a personal example. I committed the classic blunder.
Oh, you fell victim to one of the classic blunders.
I mistook the thrill of novelty for confirmation that I was on the right path. Neurologically, our brains love novelty. That's not news. And I was experiencing the mother lode, which is why deconstruction can also be addictive. It's a constant cycle of expectation and reward. Well, high off the smell of my own farts, I made it my personal mission to let everyone I knew hear all about my journey, again and again and again. I found a way to turn every conversation into a critique of God, the Bible, and Christianity, especially my Christian friends. I loved the attention that it got me. The self-satisfaction it gave me was chef's kiss. Humble deconstruction was long gone. I was no longer a good faith seeker. I was just an a-hole. There's a story from church history that completely reframed how I think about doubt. In the 1500s, there was this Carmelite priest named St. John of the Cross. He had a brilliant mind, of deep faith. He was completely committed to reforming his religious order, which had become bloated by bureaucracy. And for that commitment, his fellow monks turned on him, they kidnapped him, locked him in a small privy, which was basically an outhouse, with minimal light, little food, and regular beatings. This went on for months. And here's the part that matters. During that time, John prayed and felt absolutely nothing. No comfort, no sense of God's presence, no reassurance, just silence. Total, suffocating silence. But John didn't conclude that God had failed him. He didn't redefine God to make the pain stop, and he didn't perform his doubt for an audience. He clung to faith without the emotional payoff. Years later, looking back on that season, John gave it a name. He called it the dark night of the soul. Not a loss of faith at all, not a rebellion, but a kind of purification, where everything that you lean on except God himself gets stripped away. And here's what strikes me. John's doubt wasn't loud, it wasn't clever or proud. It was quiet, it was humble. And when I think about my own personal journey, I see the difference. Doubt isn't the enemy. The lack of humility is. If there's one word I wish present me could beat into past me, it's that word humility. The church historically has said that pride is the mother of all sins, and there's no doubt in my mind how true that is. Without humility, you're going to go down this path about as well as a boat in a desert. Engaging doubt is hard enough, okay? But doing it with the same sin, pride, that got Lucifer cast out is a spiritual death sentence. Questioning aspects of the faith, this is not sin. But doing it with arrogance will tear your life apart. If for you, deconstruction is something that is becoming necessary, and believe me, it is sometimes absolutely necessary, do so with humility. Don't sacrifice your prayer life. Don't neglect bringing God into the mix. After all, He's extremely invested in you going through this journey well. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're human, and you're in good company. Thank you to everybody who stuck around until the end. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know from the previous 2 videos I did, you will do so. And you know what? I love it. You all take care of yourselves.